to the one reaching across the sheets in the dark, to the one whose hand finds only cold linen. The mattress is too wide. The silence is too loud. You are awake at 3 in the morning because the empty side of the bed feels like a canyon. You are listening for the breath of the man who is no longer there. You are mourning someone who is no longer in the room. The next 25 minutes belong to you. This room is enough for now. This hour is enough for now. You do not have to be strong tonight. You do not have to make sense of any of this. You only have to breathe. I am not here to fix what was never going to be fixable. I am not going to tell you that the bed will feel full again in the morning. I am not going to tell you that the cold sheets are part of a plan you cannot see. I am not going to hand you a verse that makes this lighter than it is. I am here only to share the quiet with you for these next 25 minutes, to stay near while the long hours pass, to bear witness to a love that did not end when his breathing did, and to bring you a few small lights from the book, old voices that have walked through houses like this one before, words that the Lord, in his tenderness, kept on the page so they would be here when you needed them. We begin with the prophet Isaiah. He is describing a figure that the Hebrew people did not understand in their own time, a figure who would come and would not look the way they expected, not a king on a throne, not a soldier with a sword, but a man who knew sorrow by its first name. This is what Isaiah wrote about him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Like one from whom men hide their faces, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Listen to that phrase. Acquainted with grief. Not informed about grief, not sympathetic to grief from a safe distance. Acquainted. The word means to know by long repeated meeting. To have sat with someone so many times that you know their face in any light, that you know the sound of their footsteps in the hallway, that you know what they will say before they say it. This is the kind of knowing the Scripture gives to the Christ. He is acquainted with grief in the way you are acquainted with the side of the bed that is empty. He is acquainted with grief in the way you are acquainted with the sound of a refrigerator running in a kitchen that has only one chair pulled out. He is acquainted with grief in the way you have learned this past year to set one plate instead of two. If anyone has told you that the Christ does not understand the long goodbye, if anyone has told you that he cannot meet you in this room at 3 in the morning, please know that the scripture has already named him for nights like this one. He is the man of sorrows, and he is here. We move now to the Psalms, to a small verse that the Hebrew people whispered when there were no other words left. This is from the 34th Psalm. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. He saves the contrite in spirit. Near, not far above, not waiting on the other side of a door you have to knock loud enough on, not on some distant cloud, requiring you to feel better before he will come. Near. The Hebrew word is karov. It means as close as breath, as close as the person sitting beside you on a couch, as close as the hand you could reach for if there were a hand to reach for. The Lord is Karov to the brokenhearted. He is not in some distant heaven, waiting for you to feel better before he arrives. He is in the room where the bed has one side rumpled and one side smooth. He is in the chair he used to sit in. He is in the silence between your breaths. If your heart feels shattered tonight, if you feel as though something inside you has been amputated, the scripture does not call you broken because you are weak. The scripture calls you near. We turn now to a psalm you have likely heard many times, a psalm that is read at most funerals, a psalm that may have been read at his. I want to read just one verse from it tonight, just one, because sometimes a single verse is enough to carry you through one more hour. This is the 4th verse of the 23rd Psalm. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Hear what David did not write. He did not write, even though I walked through the valley. He did not write, even though I one day will walk through the valley. He wrote in the present tense, even though I walk, right now, tonight, in this house. The valley is not a place you visit once and leave behind. The valley is a place some of us are asked to walk through for many years. Through a first anniversary alone, through a second anniversary that is harder than the first. Through a Christmas where the chair at the table is empty. through a grocery store aisle where you see his favorite coffee and cannot breathe, through a senior night in the bleachers where you sit with only your own hand to hold. David does not promise you will leave the valley quickly. He promises that you will not walk it alone, for you are with me in the present tense at 3 a.m, in the bedroom where the bed is too wide. There is a fear that comes at this hour, a fear you may not have named yet, even to yourself. What if I fall in the night and no one knows? What if I cry out and there is no one to hear? What if I am alone in this house and something happens? The scripture knows this fear. The scripture has a psalm for the one who lies awake wondering who will answer. This is from the 121st Psalm. He will not allow your foot to slip. Your protector will not slumber. Behold, the protector of Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Read it again, slowly. He will not slumber. He will neither slumber nor sleep. In a world where the one who used to listen for your breath is gone, there is a protector who is awake. In a world where the chair beside you in the doctor's office is empty, there is a protector who is awake. In a world where you wake at 2 and wonder if anyone would know if you did not wake again, there is a protector who is awake. The scripture does not promise he will keep you from the valley. The scripture promises he will not close his eyes while you are in it. He is watching while you sleep. He is watching while you cannot sleep. He is watching the side of the bed that is empty, and he is watching the side that is not. There is something I want to say gently about this house. Some of you have written that the walls feel wrong now, that the rooms have begun to echo in a way they never did before, that the kitchen is too quiet and the bedroom is too cold, that this place that was a home now feels like a reminder of how broken a home can be. There is a psalm for this. It was written by Moses, who knew what it was to wander for a very long time. He had spent 40 years sleeping in tents in the wilderness, watching the people around him die one by one, never reaching the country he had been promised. And from inside that long wandering, from inside that long grief, he wrote this: Lord, you have been our dwelling place through all generations. A dwelling place. The Hebrew word is mayon. It does not mean a building. It means the place where you settle. The place where you breathe out, the place where you do not have to perform. For Moses, who lived and died without ever entering the promised land, The dwelling place was not a structure. The dwelling place was the Lord Himself. If your house no longer feels like a home, if the walls feel wrong tonight, the scripture invites you to dwell for these next hours, not in the house, but in the one who is your dwelling place through all generations. The house may not feel like home anymore, but you are not without a place to settle. I want to read one more psalm before we come to the closing, a small one, a tender one, a psalm I think of for those who have been told they have cried too much. You have taken account of my wanderings. Put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? The Hebrew people in David's time kept small glass bottles called tear vessels. When a person was in deep grief, they would catch their tears in these vessels and keep them, sometimes for years, as a record of the love that produced the tears. David is praying, "Put my tears in your bottle, keep them, account for them. Do not forget the night when I cried into a pillow with no one to see." If you have wept tonight, if you have wept every night for the last year, if you have stopped crying because you have run out of tears and are now in the gray numbness that comes after the weeping, the scripture says every one of those tears was seen, everyone was kept, everyone is written in a book that will not be lost. We come now to a verse that the scripture saves for the very end, the end of the Bible itself. This is from the 21st chapter of Revelation. It is the only future tense verse I am going to read to you tonight, and I am not going to tell you when this verse will be true for you, because the scripture does not tell us when, it only tells us what. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the former things have passed away. Notice what John saw. He did not see a God who had erased the tears as if they never happened. He saw a God who wiped them. The tears were there. The tears were real. The tears mattered enough to be wiped by a hand that knew exactly which cheek they had fallen down. I cannot tell you when this will be your morning. I cannot tell you that the bed will feel less empty soon. But the scripture promises at the end of all things, a hand that will know your tears by name. Until then, the man of sorrows is acquainted with this grief. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. You walk through the valley, and He is with you. The protector of Israel does not slumber. The Lord is your dwelling place. Your tears are in his bottle, and one day, by a hand that knew him by name, every tear will be wiped away. Rest now if you can. Sit if you cannot. You are not alone in this house tonight. You are not invisible. You are not behind in any timeline. You are loved by a protector who is awake. You are seen by a Christ who knows grief by its first name. You are dwelling, even tonight, in the one who has been a dwelling place through all generations. If the sky outside the window is still dark, if the bed beside you is still cold, if the hour ahead is still long, you are kept. Your name is known, and the side of the bed that is empty is not the only side that he sees.